We're in Issaquah, Washington at the XXX Root Beer stand. Cascade Cougar Club puts on a show here every year. Great show. One of the premier clubs of the whole United States, in my opinion, in terms of numbers and quality of cars and the years they've been doing it. Lots of great cars here today. Perfect weather for it. Let's look around at some of the cool cars that came in today. This is Dave Emmett. Are you a member of the Cascade Cougar Club?
I am. Been a member about 6 years now.
And you've been to the XXX show here a couple times at least?
Yep.
So immediately when I drove in this morning, I was drawn to this, partially because it's a 69. I love the simple look of the poverty caps. But then I hear it's done with a roller.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like it's done with a roller.
Painted with a roller and boat paint.
Wow. How long ago?
About 3 years ago now.
It looks like it's holding up well. And how much did it cost? I mean, sandpaper, the rollers, everything, the paint, how much are you into it?
Everything, probably about $300.
Wow.
And a lot of my labor.
A lot of labor. So you did your own body work?
Yes.
And you stripped it down, did it all in your driveway?
In the garage.
How many hours do you think?
I have no idea. A lot.
Well, it looks great. I mean, if you didn't do a thing more to it, I bet it gets thumbs up everywhere you go.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun to drive.
And you probably get a lot of reactions when they hear it was done with a roller.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that one of the cliches? Well, it looks like your car was done with a roller. That's great. I love it. Well, thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Why Cougars? Why have you been a lifelong Cougar guy?
Well, when I was a kid, I wanted a Mustang, but I couldn't afford a Mustang. They out of my price range because I was a poor teenager, and I'm still a poor teenager. I'm 40 something now.
Yeah.
But anyway, my brother was into Fords, and he said, hey, Cougar, that's very similar to the Mustang, and went and saw my first Cougar, and it was kind of a piece of junk, but the sequential taillights worked and the headlight doors open, and I was hooked for life.
Well, you know as much about XR7Gs as anybody. Tell us a little history on what is an XR7G?
Well, Mercury kind of wanted to honor Dan Gurney's racing heritage with Mercury, and especially with the Cougars from the Trans Am days in '67. And I mean, they had developed the Dan Gurney Special, but they wanted something a little livelier with, a hood scoop and everything that was a factory item. And they built, they were originally supposed to build a couple of thousand of them over 2 years, 68 and 69. They were originally all supposed to have a sunroof. They were all, supposed to be fairly well loaded cars, and, the bean counters got involved, and they cut down some of that, some of the juice that went into them. And anyway, they ended up canceling the 69 development of the G, and subsequently only built 619 of them.
Right. Well, that roof was a big deal because first American sports car, pony car ever to have a power sunroof.
Yeah.
That was like a $500 option, wasn't it? That's 10% of the car's value.
Yeah.
Retail.
It was a little bit of a price tag at the time, I guess, but it's worth every penny in the car's value today, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's a nice car. I really enjoy it. It really is eye-catching. Obviously, the color combination is great.
Stunning.
Yeah. So I'm real happy with it.
Well, nice car. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks very much.
Okay, we're here with Peter Peterson at the Cascade Cougar Club, Prowl. How many years have you gone to this?
About 7.
7. How many Cougars do you own?
1.
How many have you owned?
About 5.
Cool. Well, what I like is you're bringing a work in progress here, and a lot of people think, oh, my car's not a show car, I'm not going to bring it. forget that. Come out and enjoy the crowd, even if it's on a trailer. I like the fact that you have that attitude. I wish more people did.
I wasn't going to bring it, but I was talking to bringing it.
And next year we'll probably see the same car, just a little further along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how many years do you think?
4.
4 years. 4 years, and then you'll be looking for the trophy.
Yes.
Right on.
4 years. A little more paint job over the next couple of years. And
Yeah. Now I noticed you're restoring half the engine here. What's
that's
up with
my
that?
plan.
Half the engine. So
Well-
this half you want to restore, and that half you leave original for now?
See, I pull it into the garage, can't get to that side, so I work on this side, and then my neighbor's like, why don't you back it into the garage? So, like, maybe I'll figure out how to back it into the garage
And
without
do the
hitting
other-
anything and start on the other side.
Oh, you got a plan. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't have a plan. You got a plan.
I got a plan. Yep. But I thought the whole car would look kind of cool if it was like this side restored and that side not.
Yeah, just tape it off and do
Tape
an
it off,
exact.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But
And
All the brake lights
a guy
work?
can do this on a budget. You don't got to be a rich guy to get into a project like this.
no, I heard that some guys give you a 50% discount if you're on a video.
I heard that too. Let's try to get on one.
Yeah.
Dave Nashiff, you are what I call a lifer.
Oh, yeah.
You've had a Cougar most of your adult life, haven't you?
Yeah, in November of 1967, my dad and I went and picked out a brand new standard lime cross screened Cougar in Clifton, New Jersey. I've had one in my driveway
Ever since. Now, you still got that first one?
No, it got stolen in 1980, and then I did a green one exactly the same in 1983 or 1984. I still have the car in my garage.
And you've been a member of the Cougar Club, Cascade Cougar Club?
Cougar Club since 1998,
Wow.
the year after the Nationals.
Yeah, and what brought you to this? This isn't a 67 or 8.
No, it's kind of interesting. I went down to the Cougar Nationals in 2001, and I looked around at all the convertibles, and I realized I was 52 years old and never owned a convertible. So I spent about a year looking for one, and this is the one that I use as the standard to compare them against. And it was, a member of our club had it, and I asked him, well, what do you got to get for it? And he told me. My heart stopped. And then I started using this as the standard to compare it to. And a year later, after having club members look for them in California and in Florida, he said, well, this one's for sale. Are you still interested? And I said, well, what do you got to get for it? And he quoted the price, and I picked it up 2 days later.
And never regretted it.
Never regretted it. Most fun car I've ever owned in my life.
Now, isn't that original paint?
Yes. It has some spots where it was redone with acrylic lacquer, and it checked in spots. But for every reason I find to paint the car, I find 5 not to paint it.
Now, I think that's a movement that's been going on. Patina, you only get original once.
Exactly.
What's wrong with a few warts? Why does it have to be perfect?
I don't know. And and I've owned show cars, and you can't put your hand on them, and you get stressed out when you're in parking lots. And this one here, I pull in, and it reminded me of what these cars looked like in 1969.
Our crowd is getting a little older every year.
Yeah, that
What do you
happens.
think? I mean, is the next generation going to give a rip, or are they just going to put these in museums and let dust gather?
I just don't know. I think as long as you have access to the parts and you can modify them or restore them, then you have the potential for doing it. But I look at my kids, and their interest is in computers and higher tech hobbies, where maybe our generation did
Hands
more
on.
of the manual things.
Right.
But today I've seen a lot of young owners that have done things with their cars, and not so much the restorations as the modified cars.
Right.
So I think that's where the future of the hobby will lie.
Yeah, so be honest with me here. You've owned it a few years. You go to Safeway to run an errand for the wife. You slam the door. do you just walk away, or do you walk a few steps and turn around and look at it?
Well, I've got a better confession to make. I find myself in this car. I'll drive by a glass window in Issaquah, and I want to see what I look like when I'm driving the car, and I go, this is a good-looking car. I look okay in this car.
Takes 10 years off right now. Well, thanks for showing it to me.
Okay, it's always good to see you, Don.
Great weather, great cars, great food, great people. Couldn't have been a better day for a car show up here in Issaquah, Washington. What I enjoy about this show is it's not so much about the trophies, rather just the getting together and having a good time. Look forward to next year.